Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. By Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Quality Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs. And by Taco Bell.
We welcome you back to Nationals Park here in Washington as the Nats take the field on an 83-degree evening. Should be a great night for baseball as we get the postseason of 2019 started here on TBS. Let's take a look at tonight's batting order presented by Hankook Tire. This is the order that will face Max Scherzer. Craig Counsell sends out Trent Grisham, the rookie, to hit leadoff. Yasmani Grandal's had a tremendous season. Then it's Mike Moustakas. Keston Hiura hits cleanup. The veteran Ryan Braun. Eric Thames, who's hit balls that haven't come down yet. Lorenzo Cain in center. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop. Brandon Woodruff does the pitching for Milwaukee.
Well, for the first time in his career, Max Scherzer had an injury-riddled year. Missed about 5 starts. His last 7 starts have not been good. 8 home runs given up in 38 innings pitched. But talking with him yesterday, he said he is good to go and good for 120 quality pitches.
Yeah, and catching him tonight is going to be Kurt Suzuki behind the plate. They've been a great battery together this year. Really have a good friendship and relationship back there. Done a good job going around the infield. Anthony Rendon, MVP candidate over there at third base. Turner, Cabrera, Kendrick at first base gets to start tonight. In the outfield, you got Soto, Robles rolling around Eaton, and Robles, guys. Dave Martinez says he will win a Gold Glove at some point.
Has a tremendous arm, and the only thing better than that is his energy. And you could see him firing up the crowd out there in right center field. We are ready to play ball as you look at Dave Martinez, and that's been the key word for Dave Martinez: stay in the fight, which he first spoke in July to this team. And it was the first thing out of his mouth when they clinched a playoff spot.
How about this game face? Whoa.
Trent Grisham stands in against Max Scherzer. First pitch outside. Some rarefied air for Trent Grisham, a rookie, hitting leadoff in a playoff game. And a guy who struggles at the plate. Didn't even earn him a trip to the big camp in spring training.
60 players invited. He was not one of them, but he played a lot for Craig Counsell in those spring training games and impressed.
We had a chance to talk to him today, and he said that was the big thing, guys, was he really was that guy that you thought maybe he's going to have a breakout year. Crushed it in AA, AAA, came up August 1st, and all he's done is rake.
Whoa. 2-2 as the breaking pitch had him fooled.
One of the hardest pitches to throw early in a game when you have this kind of adrenaline going is that hard snapdragon for a strike. Scherzer does it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Scherzer wanted that, but he wasn't getting it from Mike Everett, the home plate umpire.
Mike Everett, an umpire that usually has one of the largest strike zones in the majors.
I don't know if I'd be taking that pitch again right here, 3-2.
Payoff pitch to the leadoff hitter. Missed. Low and away. And the Brewers have their leadoff hitter on.
Well, he did take it, and he got himself a walk.
You saw Dave Martinez go to the phone right there. I guarantee he's wondering, where are those pitches?
Scherzer, in his 27 starts, has allowed 2 walks or fewer 25 times. He walks the leadoff hitter here, and here's Yasmani Grandal. The switch hitting catcher to right, and well hit That ball is out of here. A first inning two-run shot by Grandal. The first pitch he saw from Scherzer goes over the wall and right, and they are stunned here in D.C.
Grandal signed a one-year deal here, and he has been arguably, besides Yelich, their best player. 1 for 16, guys, career off Scherzer coming into tonight. That one was worth every penny.
Scherzer got behind the first hitter, Grisham. He did not want to get behind Grandal. He came to him, and Grandal was up for it with the two-run bomb.
Now here's Mike Moustakas. These wild card games are always unpredictable. Some have really been wild, and as you get another look at Grandal's two-run homer, that thing clears the wall. Moustakas was part of that with the Kansas City Royals in that win over the Oakland A's when they were trailing John Lester late in the game and then rallied to win it in extra innings. He and Lorenzo Cain were both on that team.
So Scherzer now in his last 38 innings pitched has given up 9 home runs, all of them to left-handed hitters.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Grandal had been 1 for 16 with 9 strikeouts in his career against Scherzer, and he took him for a first inning ride. (3-2) in the air to left. Soto over and makes the play for out number 1.
That's a big out for Scherzer right there. Just something to calm down, guys. 2-2, 3-2. To start the game really close, walks it, next pitch, 2-run homer. The game started quick on him, but he's got to find a way to calm himself down.
Ronnie, how did you do that? You've had the ball on nights like this,
yes,
when everything, the blood is pumping and the heart is racing, and how do you channel that adrenaline and that excitement?
Well, that's the battle. The battle is that you know you're going to come out, if you're Max Scherzer, throw 97, 98, 99 miles an hour. But sometimes you have so much adrenaline that even though you're throwing that hard, the ball is on a line. It's going as straight as, and it's true, and it makes it easier to hit.
A ball down low to Keston Hiura. Just 23 years old. He was the Brewers' top prospect, and this kid could really hit in college. Led the nation at .442 at Cal Irvine, and he's been raking in the big leagues too. Comes up empty there.
And he's been a huge addition to this lineup, especially with Yelich going down, a guy that has stepped up and really been a big bat in the middle of that lineup.
One ball, 2 strikes. Scherzer to the plate, and he struck him out.
That's what the crowd needed. They needed a strikeout from Scherzer to show that he has his good stuff tonight. Grandal jumped him, but we talked about in the open, starting 19 and 31. You didn't think this was going to be easy for the Nationals tonight, did you?
Here's Ryan Braun. On the ground to third. Rendon throws him out. But some first inning damage done. Yasmani Grandal yanks one over the wall and right. Brewers on top. Trey Turner leads it off, followed by Adam Eaton. Anthony Rendon, the most unassuming superstar in baseball, hits third. Then it's Soto, Kendrick Cabrera, Suzuki, Robles, and Max Scherzer. Brandon Woodruff delivers high at 99, 1-0.
Well, Woodruff's got a big arm. He missed 2 months with a left oblique injury. He's only pitched twice since then. 2 starts of 2 innings apiece, and has always pitched well against the Nationals. 2-0, 18 2/3 innings, 23 punchouts.
The 2-0 is over. 4 strike 1. Woodruff is 26 years old and drafted by the Brewers back in 2014, an 11th round pick. He starts game 1 of these playoffs, the wild card game in the National League, and Arcia throws out Turner for the first out.
Catching Woodruff tonight, Yasmani Grandal, who just hit the big home run, had a great year this year. Round out over at third, Moustakas, Arcia, Hira, and Thames at first base. Braun, Kane, and Grisham in the outfield. And guys, Kane has done a great job of making plays, and the instincts, one of the best in the game. But this is a team that's a little bit hurt right now and struggling defensively.
Here's Adam Eaton. Mike Moustakas in on the grass at third as Eaton takes up high.
See Moustakas in at third base, trying to take away any thought of Eaton of trying to drag a bunt.
And he thought about it. Over for a strike, 1-1.
Well, if there's any doubt Woodruff's feeling good, he's throwing 99 tonight too. I don't think that oblique's hurting him at all.
Woodruff started the season 8-1. He was 10-2. After a win over the Braves on July 16th, he was 11-3, but only 3 starts since then, after dealing with that oblique injury.
But Ernie, when he pitches, the Brewers win. 22 starts this year. Brewers are 18-4 in those 22 starts.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and here it comes. So Eaton works the count full. With that guy waiting on deck. And there is strikeout number 1 for the Brewers right-hander.
2 straight 100-mile-an-hour fastballs from Woodruff, who is as pumped as Scherzer.
Yeah, Eaton worked the count, got a good pitch, just blew it right by him. Beat him to the spot.
Just a late swing there by Eaton.
Yeah, the old phrase, threw it right past him, comes to mind there. 2 down now, and here's Rendon. They scream MVP here in D.C., and for good reason. .319 average, was 3rd in the National League. His 126 RBIs, number 1. He hit 34 home runs. Great glove man.
I think when you really watch Rendon too, you see those numbers there, but for me what's so impressive, 4th lowest swing and miss rate in all of Major League Baseball this year, which for a power hitter, a guy that does what he does, it's really good.
Almost looked like in this at bat he was taking a strike. Just wanted to kind of measure the stuff that Woodruff has on his fastball today.
And just to put a number on that stat you threw out there, so 5.5% swing and miss. He pops this one up in the infield. Eric Thames squeezes it, and that is a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Woodruff. We head to the second in DC. Gettable, 2017 NLDS against the Cubs. Remember, he came on in relief, and Addison Russell doubled for a couple of runs. He had a catcher's interference in there, had a strike three that got away, and man, it just went terribly south after he retired the first two hitters.
He checked all the bad boxes in that inning.
He came out tonight, gave up a two-run homer in the top half of the first to Yasmani Grandal. And this is Eric Thames, who launches to right center field, and the Brewers have a 3-0 lead.
People here are stunned. That one was off a hanging breaking ball from Max. Again, 10th home run now given up since he came off the IL, all to left-handed hitters.
And Thames got it out front, but he's so strong that all he had to do was flip it into that right center field, which is, at this place, that's where the ball carries.
Lorenzo Cain swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Rendon. The throw wide, but the tag applied by Howie Kendrick for out number one.
I laugh when you say Thames is so strong. He might be the strongest. What a play by Kendrick.
Yeah, got him on the leg.
It's always a tough decision for the first baseman, when to come off the bag and make that tag.
First pitch swinging is Orlando Arcia, who dumps one into right field.
So we're seeing a little theme here, aren't we, early? We are seeing a theme of the Brewers are coming out hacking. They are being aggressive. Grandal, who very rarely swings at the first pitch, 109 walks this year, jumped him on the first pitch.
No, this is a team known for working counts.
They threw it all out the window.
And you look, guys, Braun 0 for 14 coming in this game. Kane 0 for 15. Grandal before that homer 1 for 16. That's why Scherzer's out there right now. He's had success against the Brewers.
Here's Woodruff, who squares and then takes outside.
Well, this is how the Brewers score. Over 50% of their runs come via the home run. And like you said, Thames almost one-handed hits it out.
Woodruff squares again and lays this one down. The play will be to first. Arcia moves to second, 2 down. It's probably disappointing for Woodruff. I know it mission accomplished. He did his job there, but the guy loves to hit. He really does, but he was up there in a situation where you got to get the runner over. He did his job.
Well, I think that they've scored 3 early runs here. So if you're Craig Counsell, you're just trying to put Scherzer in a position where maybe you could get lucky and knock in another one with 2 outs, break his back.
Back to the top of the order now for the Brewers as we play here in the top half of the second, and Trent Grisham stands in. Walked his first time.
Grisham, who has such an unusual grip on the bat, Frenchie. He has those 2 thumbs kind of running up the bat like a golf grip.
It's definitely unorthodox. You don't see that. He hit like that in high school, changed it when he got to the Brewers minor league system.
Could you see yourself? I mean, Frenchie, I've talked to hitters. Could you see yourself doing that at the plate?
I don't see how he has the power he has. And to whip it through the zone is unbelievable. But listen, for 3 years, he didn't really do anything. As you said, Ernie, he didn't even get invited to camp. He said, I'm going back to doing it my way. Well, it's worked out for him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Arcia, the runner at second, has a huge lead and now dances back to second.
Well, you don't expect it to see it here with 2 outs, but both of these ball clubs love to steal third base. Milwaukee 22 times this year, the Nationals 18.
Scherzer trying to get out of this inning without any further damage. Another run crosses for Milwaukee. Eric Thames, solo homer, 3-zip. baseball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everybody. To find a youth organization near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Well, guys, what did you think was going to happen? This year, 6,776 home runs, the most ever in the history of the game. And this game starts out with a couple of bombs.
Yeah, we showed you those two guys side by side, Grandal and Thames. Here's the thing, too. When you look at the Brewers stats for this year, they hit more home runs than they did last year, but their league rank dropped.
How does that happen?
Second last year, third this year. Here's Juan Soto.
For the pitchers in the postseason this year, the theme might be rub up a new one.
Well, like Max, listen, he got it out front. He didn't hit it hard. You're just going to have to deal with it. There's going to be some balls that are going to go out of this park that aren't hit good. It's how do you come back from it?
Soto, the 20-year-old cleanup hitter. Wouldn't bite there. A ball and 2 strikes.
Milwaukee now has 13 home runs the last 3 games that they've played here at Nationals Park. And the last time these two teams played, the score was 16-8.
So what you're trying to say is, don't go anywhere. It's 3-0, and the count is 2-2.
Make sure you take your cough drops in between innings. That's what I'm saying.
Soto had a huge August, struggled in September. Everybody said he was spinning out a little bit, trying to pull the ball. Said he's been working it better, trying to go to left field. One of the best opposite field hitters in all of baseball.
He waits on a 2-2 from Woodruff, and here it comes. Went upstairs and got him. Second strikeout for Woodruff. 1 out here in the second.
That's twice now that Woodruff has gone up in the strike zone to Eaton and now to Soto to strike them out. He's got a ton of movement, and we know he's throwing 99, 100 miles an hour. That's a pitch that we know Woodruff's not going to be in the game long, but the Nationals aren't going to do any damage if they're swinging at that pitch.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick, the guy that Mike Scioscia, his old manager with the Angels, called Truck. And he is a professional hitter, folks. And quickly behind 0-2.
They got Zimmerman, who's been the majority of their first baseman, as we've seen the last 10 years. But Kendrick's hitting .440 since July 28th. And we were talking to Dave Martinez today. He said, I'm playing him. There was no discussion on that. This guy has to be in my lineup.
No balls, 2 strikes, and again he elevates, and Kendrick fouls it off, and no room over there for Thames.
You know, it's interesting about the defensive alignment for the Milwaukee Brewers because Woodruff throws so hard. Look at the third baseman, Moustakas, off the line a good 30 feet.
Oh, 2 on the ground and slapped into left for the first Nationals hit of the night. It comes with 1 down here in the bottom half of the second.
Great swing. That hit right there might relax the lineup a little bit. We said the reason he's in this game, he's a consummate professional. He knows how to hit. Doesn't panic. Look at that. Gets a fastball. Short and quick to the ball. He knows he has to be. 99's coming.
That brings up the switch hitting Asdrubal Cabrera. Released by Texas, came to Washington early August, and has been a catalyst. 38 games with the Nats, hitting .323. Went deep 6 times, knocked in 40 runs, had more walks than strikeouts. Had some great years in Cleveland.
You can put him in the same boat as Kendrick, that kind of professional hitter.
That's why these two guys are in the lineup. Dave Martinez say today, Nats manager, I want this guy up with runners in scoring position. He puts the ball in play a lot. He's going to have a professional at bat, and he's got experience. He's been to the postseason.
It had to be hard to make out this lineup, though, because Brian Dozier had good numbers against Woodruff. Gerardo Parra had good numbers against Woodruff.
Yeah, Cabrera 412 with runners in scoring position here in Washington, hence 40 RBIs in 38 games.
Moustakas moves across the infield as they shift.
A little late timeout called there by Mike Everett. I've always thought there's a correlation between how many years you have in the major leagues and how you get that call timed out.
So you see Moustakas, the starting third baseman, is now in shallow right. Hira, the second baseman, shaded toward the bag. Arcia, the only one on the left side. And he just did stay alive. Here's our T-Mobile extended coverage as you get a look at Howie Kendrick at first, with Asdrubal Cabrera at the plate and 1 out. In the dirt, and Grandal did a great job of keeping that in front.
Well, Yasmani Grandal was criticized the last couple of seasons as the catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers for these kinds of pitches and his ability to block them, but textbook right there by Grandal.
You ask any of the guys on the coaching staff, he's in there for 4 hours a day watching film, first guy at the field. I think after what happened last year, he took it a little bit personal, and he's had a great year this year.
Tapped to first but foul, and into the hands of Tim Bogart, the Nationals first base coach, who lobs that one over the protective netting.
Tim Bogart, who's been mentioned by several teams now that are looking for a new manager, that he's going to be one of the candidates.
Something I do love about Nationals Park here, it's one of 2 in the bigs with the protective netting all the way down on both the right and left field sides. Keep things as safe as possible for fans here in D.C. That's in the air to center field, and there's plenty of room for Lorenzo Cain.
I'll tell you, Cain moved pretty good on that right there. I know it was a high fly ball, but that's something, guys, to watch as the game goes on. How is he going to be on that ankle?
You know, the easier question to ask Lorenzo Cain these days is anything not hurting.
Yeah. Trent Counsell, the manager, said, we asked him when he knew Lorenzo Cain was ready to go. He said once we kind of pushed him out on the field. Once he got on the field, he was playing.
It's been a left knee, a left ankle, a thumb, his side. He anchors that outfield defense for the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's Kurt Suzuki. In the air, deep left, back toward that wall, and caught by Ryan Braun with his back against the wall. It got them on their feet here at Nationals Park. Not quite enough. And again swings at the first pitch and hits it high to right. But on the track, it's Adam Eaton. Grandal took Scherzer for a ride the first time, got under that one.
Twice a guy now with 109 walks during the season. A guy who works the count, swings at the first pitch. Both at bats, almost goes deep there.
Did you see the wry smile as he got back to the dugout? Like, yeah, I thought I might have had another one. Here's Mike Moustakas.
As you said, a patient team, a team that, as you said, Grandal, they have not done well in their career against Scherzer. And you see they have changed it all up tonight. They're coming out swinging. They're going to try to get something before they get in a count where they feel like they can get taken advantage of.
No balls, one strike.
First effective change we've seen from Scherzer in this game. Usually that pitch is one of his most effective versus left-handed hitting.
Scherzer has 2 strikeouts, looking for number 3 here. Breaking pitch stays inside. 1-2.
Watching him earlier here, Ron, he's been up in the zone. I feel like that fastball, curveball hanging a little bit. Is that something adrenaline-wise for him? He's probably just trying to calm himself down.
Yeah, it's a simple case of kind of overthrowing early in the game.
Fooled him and struck him out. Moustakas out number 2. Blue eye, brown eye phenomenon that is Max Scherzer. Hey, don't miss Tampa Bay and Oakland in the American League wild card game tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN Radio at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
You talk about Max's eyes. Earlier this year, he bunted a ball into his face, broke his nose, and ended up with a black eye. So a little bit of everything this year for Max.
Looking for his first 1-2-3 inning here in the 3rd. And Keston Hiura fouls it back.
And then went out and pitched the next day and absolutely dealt.
That's right.
There's so many numbers out there these days in baseball. The hard hit rate is where Hiura excels. 50% is his mark, which you'd expect from a guy who hit .442 in college to lead the nation.
Well, you've been hearing in the minor leagues about this young player for quite some time.
Scherzer with a 1-1. Tell you what, that calendar turns to October, and a 1-2 count has 41,000 on their feet. Back-to-back strikeouts for Scherzer. His first 1-2-3 inning. We'll be back. if you're a Milwaukee fan and you thought, uh-oh, there goes the season when Christian Yelich, who was looking for back-to-back MVPs, went down in Miami. Think again. 13-5 after the kneecap injury. Actually, if you count that game, it happened early in that game. They went 14-5 because they won that one.
Yeah.
We heard Craig Counsell say guys stepped up. This is a team that only had a +3 run differential all year. Those games right there, +30. So Lorenzo Cain, Mike Moustakas, Braun, these guys that have relied on Yelich a lot this year had to step it up, and they did.
Victor Robles leads it off and takes upstairs 1-1.
Well, I think if you think of Yelich from last season, he kind of carried the entire team on his back in September. Well, they've had a group effort here in September for the Brewers.
You know, as we talked to Craig Counsell before the game and talked about how the team really kind of got galvanized after the injury to Yelich and hadn't really thought much about it until last night. And he said, how nice would it have been to have Yelich in here? He's got great numbers against Scherzer. He makes things happen. He stole 30 bags, but unavailable.
He said he even texted him, asked him if he could play today.
Yeah, and then Yelich said when he really kind of came to him that he wasn't playing, he landed last night to meet the team, and he said it really hit me. I'm done for the year. But you see him, he's going to be there all postseason with those guys.
Robles waiting on Woodruff and a 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Moments ago, Lauren Shahadi caught up with Brewers manager Craig Counsell.
Craig, your guy's aggressive in the count tonight. Was that part of the plan against Scherzer?
Yeah, our right-handers have done a really nice job being aggressive, but it's our lefties that have done the damage. You know, yes, being aggressive, it's a good plan against a guy as good as Max Scherzer.
Did Braun tweak his calf on that Suzuki catch?
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, I think a little bit. I've noticed a little bit more limping, but I think he's all right.
Appreciate it, Craig.
You got it. Thanks.
Scherzer rounds up the middle for the second out.
Well, I know you both know this phrase, country hardball. Well, that's what Woodruff is playing so far in this game. There's no setting up hitters. There's no upsetting the timing. It's like, here it comes.
You ready? Here it is. Yeah.
I think we saw him throw maybe a couple changeups to Cabrera. Other than that, you said it. He's throwing that heater, trying to stay up in the zone and telling the guys to catch up to it.
Here's the Nats leadoff hitter, Trey Turner. Shattered his bat, and it's 0-1. When he gets back to the plate, we'll take a look at his grip with the right hand, because he really lets the index finger on his right hand stay off the handle after breaking it, trying to lay down a bunt early in the season.
Yeah, so what he's done, he's made an adjustment. We talked about Trent Grisham and what he does with his grip with the bat, but Turner's had to do this just because of that injury. He's altered the way he holds the bat. That index finger lazily off the bat.
No balls, 1 strike. And quickly 0-2, and Mike Everett got the business end of that foul tip.
And you don't see a lot of guys do that ever, but Trey Turner said it's also made me realize that if my hands are loose, I'm quick to the ball. Yeah. And he says it's actually helped me in a way. He's got 5 home runs his last 10 games.
Here's the play we talked about as Turner tried to lay down the bunt. Right index finger.
Rainy night here at Nationals Park when he made that attempt.
And let's check in on Mike Everett now, too, because the umpiring crew has all come to the plate.
I didn't think it caught him in the mask. I thought it caught him in the right shoulder. No, right off the side of the mask.
He was staggered for sure.
Yes, he was.
Ooh. And if you could see Grandal's reaction immediately, he knew.
There's a certain sound when it hits the mask that the catchers know that it was a direct hit. Looks like Mike's going to shake it off. Way to go.
Guy who's worked 6 league championship series and a couple of World Series. Works behind the plate here in the wild card game. Pressure on those guys too. On a night like this. Nowhere near with the 0-2. Run down the umpires for you real quick. Kerwin Danley at first. Jeff Nelson's the crew chief at second. Corey Blazer at third. David Rackley on the left field line and Carlos Torres on the right field line. And this is Carlos Torres' first playoff game.
Well, maybe that's why he's not throwing a slider. He does not have the feel for it yet, but he certainly has a feel for number 1.
Well, and he knows what Turner can do. He likes that fastball in. You know he's important to this team. 75 and 47 with them in the lineup, guys. 18 and 22 without him.
It's quite a job by Turner. That's fouling off a pitcher's pitch. 98 right on the corner. There you go.
I would say it's been predominantly fastball, would you?
We don't need the usage chart tonight.
Well hit to the gap in left center field, and that ball is gone. Trey Turner gets the Nationals on the board. It's 3-1.
You saw Woodruff trying to get him out with some sliders away, guys. Turner can absolutely crush fastballs. He went with 98 right here. Turner got the bat head of the ball. Get Washington on the board and get this crowd back in the game.
How about the home run dancing?
One thing you notice on this Nationals team this year, the joy has returned. And now it's really returned as they get on the board. And here is Adam Eaton.
Yeah, fastball, you see. Trying to go up a little more. Turner's such a good fastball hitter, 98.
Who needs 10 fingers?
And he's one of the rare guys in the lineup who hits the high fastball. You could tell the sound just by the sound of that one.
That was loud.
The Nationals 335 RBIs with 2 outs led the National League this season.
That looked like the old "We Are the Titans" as he went into the dugout. Meantime, Eaton pops it up and Arcia squeezes it for out number 3. But Trey Turner gets the Nats on the board as we head to the 4th. Presented by Hankook Tire. There's Trey Turner, who got one he liked from Brandon Woodruff, and homered in the top half, in the bottom half of the third. Got Washington on the board. They trail 3-1 as Braun, Thames, and Kane will face Scherzer here in the top half of the fourth.
Interesting so far. Not seeing the sharp bite on the slider from Scherzer so far.
Slap right to first, and Howie Kendrick will put that in his pocket. We heard a little while ago when Lauren Shahade was talking to Craig Counsell, asking if Ryan Braun had maybe tweaked the calf a little bit when he made that catch, and Counsell had said it looked like he had a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up after that.
Might hurt his calf. He's also, you know, he's had chronic back problems for a long time too, so I'm sure that didn't feel good.
You see him wrapped up.
Now he just smoked the ball and thought, what do I have to do to get a hit off Max Scherzer?
Here's Eric Thames, who homered to lead off the second.
Well, the Washington Nationals are a team that does not shift a lot, but you can see by the numbers here. Thames on the ground, ball's going to be pulled.
Yeah, you see by that swing too. I know it's a good changeup by Max, but he's looking to get out and pull the ball. Hence the curveball for a home run to right center.
And the helicopter finish by Thames there. He played 3 seasons in the Korean baseball organization and was a fan favorite. He goes the other way this time. And Soto against the wall, cannot make the play. Thames is at second, and he will hold up there. When it left the bat, it looked like a routine fly ball to left. It drifted, and Soto couldn't haul it in.
This is a ball that I think we thought was just, it kept carrying here, but Soto right here, that's a ball he can catch. If he gets back to the wall, I know he kind of floated back there and got back there easy thinking it was a can of corn, and that ball just kept going and going, and he was in a bad spot.
It looked to me, Ronnie, that as he checked the wall, he lost the ball momentarily and then turned around.
He did. The ball drifted, so did he. And whenever the ball comes off a left-hander's bat, that ball's going to drift back towards center field.
Ball in the dirt to Kane, blocked by Suzuki. It's a double for Thames, which should have been out number 2. Instead, 1 out. Runner in scoring position for Kane, who grounded out to third his first time. Breaking pitch misses inside.
Tough break for Max too. He'd been getting in a little bit of a groove. Just sat down 7 guys in a row right there, feeling like that's another easy out. Instead, now you got to run at second down 2-0 to Lorenzo Cain.
On the ground to second. Thames will advance to third with 2 down. There is Brent Suter, who is a remarkable story. Tommy John surgery last August. He returns this season and has been one of the bright spots in that bullpen for Craig Counsell.
Hasn't given up a run in his last 17 1/3 innings pitched as Brent Suter.
Here's Arcia.
When you see Max coming right after him right here, they know Woodruff, the pitcher's on deck, but I think we all agree if he gets on, they're going to the bench to pinch hit. So he's going to take his chance here and try to go after him.
Suitor up in case Scherzer has to face Woodruff. If Scherzer gets this out, I think Woodruff goes one more.
Well, we heard Craig Counsell today. He told us, guys, best case scenario, 4 innings for Woodruff. That's what he'd like to get out to set him up. I believe you. Like you said, if he doesn't get up this inning, I think he goes back out and tries to get him through 4.
Arcia blooped the single to right his first time. He's got another Milwaukee run 90 feet away, and here comes the pitch. And again, Suzuki got his body in front of that to keep Thames at third.
0-2 count. You have to anticipate as a catcher that ball is going to be in the dirt. And Suzuki perfectly placed to keep that in front of him.
Scherzer ought to be sitting in the dugout right now, but instead has to continue to work on Arcia. Gets him to wave at the breaking pitch, and they throw to first to complete the strikeout. Brewers get a runner to third, but can't score him. We head to the bottom half. Pitch was thrown out by a current member of the Nationals, Aaron Barrett, a guy who's had Tommy John surgery, who broke his arm throwing a pitch, and this season returned to the big leagues. Pitched in 3 games, and that story was just good for the soul to watch it unfold. He made his return to baseball, to the big leagues in Atlanta, and was in tears. He got the crowd all fired up tonight, threw out that first pitch to Matt Lee Croy, his minor league manager, who had given him the word that you're going back to the major leagues, and you can't make that stuff up.
We told Aaron, will you take it easy on us? We're getting emotional in the booth every time you're out there. He says, I'm trying to hold it together.
And you see who he's sitting next to, Johnny Venters, the other guy who's had 3 Tommy Johns.
That's right.
So those two know what it's like to work through something and come back.
No balls and a strike to Anthony Rendon, who grounds to third. Moustakas made a good play, charged that ball on the backhand and threw him out. So Rendon is 0 for 2.
Just a totally different at bat for Rendon, right? Didn't swing the first 4 pitches of the first at bat, swung at both pitches from Woodruff in that at bat.
Well, the Nats have been in these situations before. They have 10 wins after trailing by 3 or more, and we all remember back in September when they were down 6-6 to the Mets, and Kurt Suzuki hit the 3-run walk-off that really kind of got this team in that lead of the wild card, and they never let it go.
I was at that game. It really did happen.
You were. I texted you after that game.
You did.
Soto struck out his first time and takes outside. Freddie Peralta loosening as Brent Suter, the lefty, has sat down. That thing is 6 miles high. Over by the line, and Moustakas makes the play.
If you're asking why Peralta's up and not Suter, Suter will start innings. Peralta, if Woodruff needs help, will be here to get him out of this inning.
When I think one thing Craig Counsell does a good job with that pen is he keeps those guys fresh. He told us today if Suter pitches 2 innings, he doesn't pitch for 2 games. So as much as he runs through the pen, he takes care of those guys too.
2 down now for Howie Kendrick. Picked up the first Nats hit in the bottom half of the second. Washington has only 2 hits. The other left the yard. A home run by Trey Turner.
Well, when he was with the Los Angeles Angels, he was one of the most consistent performers you could ever hope for. Second baseman when he was there, good for 290 plus every year average.
The 2-0, line to left. Braun over and makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Woodruff. 4 innings in the books.
T-Mobile, introducing its newest, most powerful signal ever. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile is with you.
Trey Turner accounting for the only Washington run with a solo home run, but they trail 3-1 as Max Scherzer goes to work in the top half of the fifth. Travis Shaw is the pinch hitter, so Craig Counsell has gotten everything, as you said, Frenchie, everything he could have wanted from Woodruff.
4 innings, and I'll tell you what, Ron, he attacked with that fastball great tonight.
I mean, he now has a body of work considering what he did last year in the postseason. That is outstanding. 4 innings, a couple of hits. That Trey Turner home run, that's the first time he's gone 4 innings since July 16th.
And there were handshakes all around in that Milwaukee dugout as he came off the field in the 4th. And there is Brent Suter, who will be the next pitcher. How good a feeling is that, Ron, as a pitcher, when you go out there and this is a high leverage game, obviously, and you've done your job, and now you watch and see if your bullpen can hold that lead for you.
Well, you know, it's an unusual position because we talked about him being an all-star this year, and that earlier in the season, he's a guy that you expected 6-7 innings out of. And Scherzer walks Shaw to lead off here in the 5th.
That last inning ended, as we revisit the Braun story, Ryan struggling a little bit to make his way around that field, but he certainly made that play to end the inning.
Yeah, and you can see he's favoring it right now. And guys, if they stay up 3-1, it's going to be interesting to see. He might get one more bat. You might see Gamble come in the game defensively.
Two walks allowed by Scherzer. The first one hurt him because Grandal followed with a 2-run homer. That was to begin the game, and then here in the 5th, he walks Shaw.
Interesting. Daniel Hudson up for the Nationals, closed a lot in September. Martinez sensing maybe this is a closing moment here, even in the 5th inning.
Fouled by Grisham, and a long run for Trey Turner. If there's anybody designed to make a long run, it's one of the fastest guys in the league. And Turner flagged it down for the first out. The postseason captivates us with its dramatic moments, and the MLB at Bat app has them all. It's the one place to get everything for your favorite team's postseason chase. Video highlights, pitch tracking, and much more. Download MLB at Bat today.
The most interesting first pitch of tonight's game, because Grandal hit a home run on the first pitch he saw in his first at bat, almost hit a home run and curveball on the first pitch in his second at bat.
And the first pitch in his third at bat is swung on and fouled. Almost pinned the ball girl to the railing over there. That ball was hit so hard. Here's StatCast powered by AWS.
Yeah, almost 108 exit velocity, guys. The only question here, if the ball is going to be high enough to get out for a homer.
$41,000 umpires here.
Actually 41,001. And it's that last one. That's what counts.
Yes.
That's Mike Everett behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis Shaw just a couple of steps off the bag at first. As that pitch sails high and away. 2-1.
Ron, I'm guessing just like Peralta was warming up for Woodruff, you bring Hudson in, get the final couple outs, and then Strasburg starts an inning.
Yeah,
you don't want him coming in?
I would think the same thing. Thinking 2-1 changeup, aren't you, against Grandal, who seems to have had the number on the fastball and the breaking ball.
3 balls and a strike.
And that's where Grandal, to me, he's a smart hitter.
Yeah.
107 walks for a catcher. He knows what he's doing there. Like you said, he's been all over the heater.
To Grandal. That was a pretty breaking pitch. That's confidence right there.
As a hitter, Frenchie, you got to take that pitch.
You're not looking for that. That's a big time pitch right there.
The 3-2. Grandal gives you some great at-bats, boy.
Well, this entire Brewers team, if you've seen Max Scherzer pitch a lot, you just don't see this many good swings against them in a ball game through 5 innings. The Brewers have done that.
Yeah, and I would see if he's going fastball again here, it's got to be away. You cannot challenge Grandal in with the heater right here.
Another payoff pitch to the Brewers catcher. They have swung at ball 4 there and fouled it off. Grandal's 28 home runs this year, a career high. Knocked in 77 runs. Has already homered tonight. And here it comes. Ball 4, 2 on with 1 out.
Well, the name of the game, right, if you're a hitter, is your ability to own the strike zone and know the strike zone and what pitches to swing at. And Grandal is as good as anyone in the National League at differentiating but between the pitches and taking that nasty cutter.
That's how you draw 109 walks. Number 2 in the National League. And here's Moustakas.
Moustakas and Hira 0 for 4 combined with 3 strikeouts. I think if they had done some damage, you might see Hudson in this ball game right now.
Runners lead from first and second. And Moustakas had a great cut, followed it straight back. And we're even at 1-1.
The left-handers have done the damage tonight against Max, and they're 1 swing away from making this an ugly game. Left-handers tonight, left-handed hitters for the Brewers tonight, 3 for 8, 2 home runs, a double.
The 1-1 is on the way. And Scherzer again ahead in the count.
And he's sticking hard to Moustakas right here. Fastballs up, cutters. Moustakas has absolutely crushed a changeup this year, and I think Max knows I can't afford to hang one right here.
Two pitches fouled straight back. The Brewers got to Scherzer right off the bat. 2-run homer in the first by Grandal. Solo shot in the second to lead it off by that guy Eric Thames. Trey Turner's solo home run is all that Washington has got. It's a 3-1 game, and the Brewers threatening for more here in the 5th.
brilliant at bats here by the Brewers. Those are pitches that are on his thumbs, and he's staying at the at bat.
That's a frustrating thing for Max right now. I think he's getting frustrated. They're fouling balls off that you're used to seeing guys swing through, and really making it difficult for him to put them away.
Steven Strasburg, as Baby Martinez told us, would be available tonight in a relief role. Line foul just past Kendrick at first.
Kendrick right on the line, because with that dive he was about 4 feet into foul territory.
Milwaukee trying to add to its lead here in the 5th. Runner in scoring position. They struggled in that department this year. They were dead last in the National League at 237. Popped it up. Rendon, infield fly.
Well, this is one of those at-bats where just a battle between two veterans. Scherzer with the first pitch fastball up. A couple of those fastballs in. Moustakas had a great cut. That one right there, he fouled straight back. That one stayed in the at-bat. Changeup almost hit it down the line for a run-scoring double. And then finally Max won the battle.
And as a hitter right there, that changeup was the pitch that set up that whole sequence. Moustakas is a great changeup hitter. Hit it foul. He came back with that heater, just got him off it.
Scherzer has had Keston Hiura's number, and he throws it by him there, 0-1. Hiura has struck out twice as he makes his postseason debut.
Hiura only played in 84 games and 19 home runs. Swinging at that pitch up, but he's got power to right center field.
It's also the first time Scherzer's faced here. And at the same time, this Brewers team has tons of postseason experience, guys. First time in a postseason game. I'm sure there's some nerves down there for him.
Scherzer trying to wiggle off the hook again to keep it a 2-run game. Couldn't get the kid to chase. A ball and 2 strikes.
I don't know if I've ever seen Max Scherzer work this hard to get through 5 innings. We'll try to get through 5.
He's gotten Hiura for the 3rd time tonight. He walks a couple, but they don't hurt him. We're in the middle of the 5th in the wild card game on TBS. You got to be ready when you face this first Milwaukee reliever, Brent Suter, who works extremely fast. And he misses the mark to Asdrubal Cabrera to start off the 5th.
Mark Burley was always the mark to try to shoot for. Suter works about that quickly.
The call tonight is presented by Physicians Mutual, insurance for all of us. First call to the bullpen of the night. And it's Suter, the guy who had Tommy John surgery in August of 2018, appeared for the first time September 2nd of 2019, and has been virtually unhittable. 18 1/3, 15 strikeouts and 1 walk. Allowed 1 home run to Yordan Alvarez, but who hasn't done that? 4-0 with an ERA of 0.49 in his 9 games. They checked down there with Kerwin Danley at first. He said that there was no swing by Cabrera.
I mean, there could not be a better bounce pass into a game for Suter. Woodruff throwing 99 miles an hour. A softer toss for his Suter. I honestly thought he went on that high fastball.
Well, you can see Cabrera taking his time. They all know Suter loves to work. They're going to try to make him feel uncomfortable. He's holding righties to a 128 average, so that cutter has been tough.
Sometimes, though, when you try to take your time with a pitcher, you get yourself out of sync.
3-2 pitch. All the way.
They didn't think he would come back this summer, Suter, and they just kept getting reports that he was throwing 3 innings, 30 pitches. Every report was saying that he was right on time.
And this is a frustrating AB, guys. When a guy's out there throwing 87 miles per hour, you'd think, I should square this up all day, but he's able to put it where he wants. You said, Ernie, 1 walk.
On the ground to short. Arcia throws him out for the first out. The story goes that Suter had a 2-minute and 26-second half inning this year. That's working fast. But, and you know this, Frenchie, you play behind a pitcher like that, you love it. Keeps you on your toes, huh?
It's your favorite thing to do. You get out there, within 5 minutes, you're back in the dugout hitting.
Suzuki takes 1-0. For more on Brent Suter, Lauren Shahade, what you got?
Ernie, you guys mentioned Craig Counsell saying 4 innings for Woodruff was best case scenario. He's also said he's a nice contrast to Brent Suter. To your point, Ron, there's the righty lefty element, but one has a plus fastball, one's a soft tosser, extreme power versus extreme finesse. Woodruff touched 100 tonight, guys. Suter didn't throw a single pitch above 90 miles per hour all year long.
And thank you, Lauren. And you can speak to that too, Jeff, as a hitter. When maybe you're just getting used to what the starters got, and then you bring somebody in who's that different.
Yeah, well, you're gearing up for 98. You're used to it. You saw it. Even though Cabrera grounded out on that pitch, he fouled 2 or 3 pitches up. Same thing Suzuki there, popped it up.
Listen, would you love to have 6 haters in your bullpen? Of course you would, but if you don't, versatility can be your friend. Having different guys come in with different kinds of a repertoire.
I'm writing that down. Versatility can be your friend. Good to live by. Strasburg continuing to work up a sweat as Robles takes a healthy cut, and it's 1-2. Ryan Zimmerman,
the face of the franchise.
Yep. Longest tenured member of this team.
Played his first games at RFK.
Suter's got the ball back and ready to go and is fouled back.
And that's one thing. The Nats haven't been able to get guys on base. They haven't been able to put a pressure on this defense. Talked about some arms that are kind of sore right now, some outfield legs that aren't healthy, but they're letting Craig Counsell and this team stick to the script.
They've gotten a single from Kendrick in the second, the solo home run from Turner in the third, and that's it in the hit department. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if you're a Nationals fan, you would love to see Robles somehow, some way get on the base and have the franchise come up and maybe do something big.
To left, that'll fall for a hit. Robles aboard with 2 out.
Well, Robles took a good at bat there for the youngster.
Zimmerman was never announced. And he'll be called back. Brian Dozier will pinch hit for Max Scherzer.
Interesting move there, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst move. Dozier, you know, Zimmerman, he's got a kind of a longer swing. He likes to get extension. And Suter, you've seen he's trying to pound that ball in on right-handed pitchers. I think they're putting Dozier up there. Someone with a little bit quicker bat can get the inner part of the plate.
Maybe a little more power at this point in his career than Zimmerman, but interesting. 1 for 1 Zimmerman is off Suter, but 1 for 9 Dozier, but at least Dozier has had more at-bats and maybe has more familiarity with Suter.
It's win or go home. Watch as the Tampa Bay Rays host the Oakland A's in the American League wildcard game presented by Hankook Tire. Tune in on ESPN at 8 as the postseason story starts to unfold. Dozier takes 1-0.
Well, I think a big advantage for the Nats, we said coming in tonight, their bench. They had a lot of thump coming off this bench compared to the Brewers. As you said, I think he's putting him in here. That chance, he's seen him, and he's got a chance to hit a home run.
Throw over, not close.
Big part of the Nats game, of course, is stealing bases against the left-handed Suter. I don't think it's going to happen for Robles.
Dozier didn't think much of that call, but it's 1-1. Drew Pomerantz begins to loosen in the Milwaukee pen. One and two.
Well, in my opinion, 2 misses there by Mike Everett on the 2 pitches from Suter. The one outside and high, and this one above our zone anyway.
You're already facing a guy that's that nasty. If you're Dozier, saying I don't, he doesn't need any help.
Yep.
That sails upstairs 2-2. And sarcasm alive and well among the 41,000 here at Nationals Park. Robles with the lead at first. Suter to the plate. Hard hit, and look at the stop by Moustakas, who throws across, and he is safe. Thames came off the bag and couldn't get back.
Great stop by Moustakas right there, but that's an area all year where he's kind of been hurt with that arm. It wasn't a bat, though. He just pulled him off enough that Dozier was able to get there before.
It was a great stop on a ball that was absolutely smoked.
And yes, the ball just really sailed, and it looks like the Brewers are going to review it. I don't know why. He's absolutely safe at first base.
This one shouldn't take long.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Brewers took a shot here. Maybe it's getting late for them and they wanted to take their shot here, but I think an easy call for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's pretty clear cut right there.
Nice try by Thames.
Laz Diaz, Dan Iasonia are manning the replay room.
And now you have a pitcher who loves to work fast that has to stand out on the mound and wait. In Suter. So what they're trying to check, did he have his foot on the bag when he originally caught the ball?
That looked pretty close right there.
That's what they're checking.
Yeah.
So forget the dive back to the bag. Let's see if Thames was able to hold the bag on the original throw.
Yeah, that's
what
the
they're.
key.
It's got to be what they're looking at.
I mean, Thames did not think he did. That's why he returned to the base. But still, there you go. It's interesting. That's a hit for Dozier. Usually they separate a play. Even if you make a great play, if a good throw would have gotten him, that's an E5. They just changed it to an error. That makes sense.
And this is what the Nats have been waiting for, an opportunity to get this crowd in the game. Trey Turner, your catalyst up at bat right here.
He homered in the third.
That first pitch by Suter down. You have to keep the fastball down to Turner. Loves the ball middle of the plate, in and up.
Suter retired the first two he faced, but a single and an E5 has brought the go-ahead run to the plate.
To me, 2-1. Turner's got to be looking for that cutter right here. Get ready and get the hands out.
In the air to left center field. And Lorenzo Cain makes the catch. End of threat. End of 5 on TBS. Goes on to play the Los Angeles Dodgers, best of 5 in the National League Division Series. And here's uncharted territory for Steven Strasburg, on in relief for the first time in his career in the regular season or postseason. Has done it in the All-Star game. But here we go in the wild card game. After Scherzer went 5, Strasburg is on to face Ryan Braun. And the first pitch is lined to left. Under normal circumstances, he might think about challenging the arm and left, but Braun is hobbling, and he's at first. Brings Eric Thames to the plate and brings us a StatCast powered by AWS.
And you see that launch angle, or the launch angle was great. The exit velocity wasn't hard. He didn't hit it hard off Scherzer, but as we said, he got it just enough, and he's maybe the strongest guy in baseball.
So Braun greets Strasburg with a single. And Thames takes a strike.
Well, this is what they wanted to do. If Scherzer faltered, they wanted to come in with Strasburg. They wanted him to start an inning. Of course, he pitches from the stretch all the time anyway, so not a big change for Strasburg.
Well, I think that's the hardest thing for Dave Martinez probably tonight. How do you manage? You have 3 studs, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. When do you go to them? When do you pull the trigger? Because we were talking before the game. It wasn't clear cut that Scherzer was starting this game. He said it was hard.
Yeah.
Strasburg's had a great year.
And he said he approached Strasburg and said, how do you feel about the idea of relief as that bat is shattered and a double play. Let's go to Casey Stern in Atlanta. Case. All right, thank you, Casey.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. And why is Strasburg in this game? 5.68 ERA for the bullpen of the Washington Nationals. That's the highest of any team that's in the postseason.
Lorenzo Cain is 0 for 2. Hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield. Drew Pomeranz continues to loosen in the Milwaukee pen. Back to the point about Strasburg and Davey Martinez. Strasburg said, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I closed in college. The 0-2. That was about a 54-footer.
Well, if you're Martinez, you have to manage this game to keep the runs at 3 for the Brewers and hope your team comes back.
Yeah, you have one of the best offenses in the National League, so you got to give them time. They still have 12 outs left. And I think Strasburg's a great guy to bring in right now. The way he's pitched this year, we saw that sharp curveball there. So far, it looks to have his good stuff.
A 1-2. Got him with the change. Double play, ball helped. Strikeout to end it.
Chase down your passion, never halfway. And by Postmates, the same people that brought you dinner.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, and we are zipping right along in our wild card game.
At the trading deadline, most people thought that Madison Bumgarner,
As Adam Eaton flies out to left off the guy you're about to talk about.
well, Drew Pomerantz. Yeah, most people thought Madison Bumgarner or their closer Will Smith were going to be traded and play a role with a postseason team. But it's Drew Pomerantz that's played the biggest role for Milwaukee. 26 2/3 innings, 45 strikeouts for the big tall lefty.
I'll tell you what, with Rendon, Soto coming up, it's a big inning for the Nats to try to get something going. Everybody knows who's in that pen waiting to come in here in the next couple innings.
Big Smooth is 6'5", 240, and he throws a strike to Rendon. Check in with Lauren Shahadi. Lauren.
Ernie, we learned last night that in early September, the Nats offered Anthony Rendon a 7-year deal in the range of $210 to $215 million. I think Washington is realistic that they won't keep Rendon from testing the market, but 7 for $210 is the exact same contract as Scherzer has. Shows how highly they think of him.
One of the most understated superstars in baseball. An all-star for just the first time in 2019.
Well, there's so many good players at that position. I think that Anthony would feel much better if he was offered the Arenado contract at 8 years and $260. He'd feel much better.
The numbers that Lauren gave us are okay.
Yeah, they'll work.
Yeah, listen, you play your whole 6-7 years to get to free agents. This guy definitely deserves to test the market. And I think, listen, him and Garrett Cole, those two guys are going to get the Brinks truck.
Who tied him up. Strike 3 called.
It's just such a strength to be able to a great hitter like Rendon to give him 3 different looks and his 3 at-bats. It's just, it's no way he can really sit on anything or work a pitcher to a place where he knows maybe what he's going to get on a certain count.
Rendon 0 for 3. Soto's 0 for 2 as he stands in with nobody on and 2 out. Hold everything.
These Brewers relievers like to get it and throw it.
That is a towering fly ball to right along the line, and it's going to be foul.
Well, to be as young as Soto is and adept at hitting both lefties and righties. He hit 285 against left-handed pitching this year, 281 against right-handed pitching. That's why he's been solid in that 4th hitting cleanup.
Childish Bambino, as some call the 20-year-old. Rarely gets cheated up there.
You can see him pulling off there, though, a little bit. And I know it's tough. It's 97. You're trying to get going. But Soto, watching him all year. You know, him, probably Ronald Acuna Jr. with the Braves. 2 best guys are going opposite field power-wise.
2-strike approach. He'll choke up. He'll lengthen that stance. Open it up a little bit.
Wooden chase upstairs, 2-2.
You're noticing a pattern. These Brewers pitchers are trying to get these Nats hitters out up in the zone. Woodruff, Suter, now Pomerantz.
And the ball upstairs has beat them for the most part. The only one that didn't beat, Trey Turner.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Pomerantz in a 1-2-3-6. Seventh inning. Max Scherzer started. Steven Strasburg came on in the 6th. We are in the top half of the 7th. The number 8 hitter, Orlando Arcia, takes a breaking pitch for a strike. We don't see anybody in the Milwaukee on-deck circle yet. The pitcher spot due next.
I see Pomerantz with a helmet on and a bat. Those relief pitchers, it takes a while to find their stuff because they get so many few at-bats.
Now at this point, the game's lined up for them.
Yep.
They're going to try to ride Pomerantz for one more inning, and then Hader for 2.
If Pomerantz gets in trouble, Hader had a save this year of 2 2/3 innings.
There is the Milwaukee flamethrower. Another breaking pitch fouled away. Strasburg came on in the 6th. Allowed a single on the first pitch to Ryan Braun. Coaxed a double play ball out of Eric Thames on a broken bat, and then struck out King. High chopper to short. Turner throws him out. Out number 1 here in the 7th. T-Mobile is introducing its newest, most powerful signal ever. No signal goes farther. No signal is more reliable. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile is with you. All right, so Drew Pomerantz will bat against Strasburg here in the 7th. He's 0 for 19. And if my money would be on Strasburg in this matchup.
Counsel might have just told him, hey, just hold the bat.
Don't do anything to hurt that left arm. He's got the brace on it.
Used to be you'd encourage a left-handed pitcher to bat left-handed so that the pitching arm wouldn't be exposed.
Oh for 19, he could always switch.
Strasburg went with a breaking pitch.
That's something, Ron, I think he's done so good, is getting back that curveball. When he came up facing him, he had one of the best curveballs in baseball. Then he got that slider with it, and I felt like his arm might have been, mixed up in that slot.
Two down on the called 3rd. And that takes us back to the top of the Milwaukee order.
That's a good point, Frenchie. I think what happens with pitchers, very few have a hellacious curveball to go along with a hellacious slider. It's either one or the other. And in adding that pitch, it almost seemed like he was in between on what he was going to throw. Almost too many pitches for Strasburg.
Yeah, he took away the slider, and now he's got 3+ pitches.
That's a dandy again, 0-1. Frenchie, you can, and again, we call him Frenchie because everybody calls him Frenchie. Nobody calls Jeff Francoeur Jeff.
No.
But you face Steven Strasburg right out of the gate.
Yeah, it was not fun. You look at that curveball right there. I told you one of the first at-bats I ever had, he threw a 99 right over my head and then came back with that curveball right there. So you can imagine what happened. That's why I'm here with y'all.
he was the talk of baseball when
Yes.
he made his debut. 1-1 to Grisham. Missed up. 2-1.
Well, the one thing now that he has developed as he's gotten a little older in his career is that when he's behind in the count, he has no problem throwing that curveball or changeup. There it is.
That's just a knee ball. He's not fair. Just not fair. 2-2. Davey Martinez' mantra has been stay in the fight. Never more than tonight. Down 3-1. There's the guy who got the scoring started in the first after the walk to Trent Grisham, the 2-run shot by Yasmani Grandal.
Does he come curveball right here, Ron?
I think
that's his best pitch.
That's the one he's been using this inning.
Back-to-back strikeouts to end the top half of the 7th. Time to stretch in D.C. Game summary, 3-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. National League wild card game here on TBS. Ernie Johnson, Jeff Francoeur, and Ron Darling. You know, Craig Counsell doesn't like to label his pitchers as starters or relievers or closers or anything. They're out-getters, and they've done that tonight. They lead 3-1, and this is playing out just the way he envisioned it.
He's just a master at using his bullpen, understanding where to use them against what part of the lineup, and also they've come through, and getting 4 innings from Woodruff was key for Counsell tonight.
And on the other side, Washington has to find a way to get runners on early, put some pressure on these hitters. Only time that runners in scoring position was last inning, 2 outs.
Howie Kendrick takes, and it's 2-0 as he faces Drew Pomerantz working in his 2nd inning. Woodruff started and went 4. Suter pitched a scoreless 5th. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Kendrick. He has one of the 3 Washington hits, and you talk about getting a leadoff hitter on. That hasn't happened for Washington tonight. To short. Marcy is one of the slickest fielders in the game. It's 1 down. Getting more from Rocket Mortgage. You see the lines for Woodruff, Suter, and Pomerantz. And Josh Hader lurking in the Milwaukee bullpen.
Well, I did the games for the Red Sox postseason last year, and Pomerantz initially was left off the roster. Then he was added later, but never pitched. So this is his chance to come up big in the postseason.
Those pitching numbers for the Brewers presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
And he's been such a starter. Now you see him coming out of the pen. It reminds me a little bit of Wade Davis back in the days, just coming in and letting it go at 97, not holding anything back.
Well, they use the word uptick, right? There's uptick in his stuff when he comes out of the pen as opposed to as a starter. Velocity's better. Crispness of his breaking ball is better.
There's the guy who started and went for, Brandon Woodruff. An 11-game winner and an all-star. And they're trying to get the ball into the hands of that guy with a lead, Josh Hader.
Do you think they'd come to him this inning, a couple guys get on, or do you think they wanted him for two innings?
They would love to be able to hold off and bring him in for the 8th and the 9th inning. It's all going to be dictated by how successful Pomerantz is here in the 7th.
He was certainly successful in the 6th, 3 up, 3 down with a couple of Ks. And Daniel Hudson up again for Washington.
Second or third time up for Daniel Hudson.
There is a nervousness in this ballpark right now. In a 3-1 game, bottom half of the 7th. Up the middle, Marcia. 2 down. You know, they haven't barreled up much aside from Trey Turner.
Yeah.
These fans here are no strangers to postseason disappointment. And it's been a situation in which the Nationals have had home field advantage, had deciding games right here, and could not close the deal. They've lost 6 in a row when they could have eliminated their opponent. And the thing that really stings, it's stuff that's happening right here in the ballpark in Washington. Kurt Suzuki with 2 down.
Well, Ron, I know you've called a bunch of games here this year, same thing with myself. I think this crowd feels with this team, it's a different team. They actually really enjoy this team. I think watching them play, they play hard. You know, Dave Martinez gives them the leeway to go out there and do what they want.
There's been a party type atmosphere here with the baby shark and Gerardo Parra coming over in the middle of the season.
The home run dance.
All of that
just a
stuff.
lot of that. That's why I think these fans really enjoy watching this team, but they just haven't got anything going.
Right. Frenchie, when we did the game here, the season finale on Sunday, we're talking to Max Scherzer in game as he put the headset on. And Anibal Sanchez is feeding him sunflower seeds. It's been a loose team, a team where fun has returned, but right now, there was a little present for Pomerantz. And Hader starts to loosen.
Well, you'd have to say that the Brewers have got the benefit of a lot of calls here by Mike Everett, but more than the Nationals.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki. There's Trey Turner, who homered in the 3rd.
see why they went on that run and won 20 games in September, though. These Suter and Pomerantz now have just come in and poured in strikes. Aggressive, ahead in the count.
Well, these are left-handed pitchers coming in facing Rendon, Turner, these tough righties. That's what's impressive. It's not a lefty-lefty deal.
The veteran Kurt Suzuki will turn 36 this week. He hopes he celebrates it in Los Angeles during the NLDS. But he taps weakly to third here, and that's another 3 up, 3 down inning. 6 up, 6 down for Pomerantz out of the Milwaukee pen. The first inning. This is Yasmani Grandal. Look at Adam Eaton. You could see he was hoping to play a carom, and that ball just cleared the wall in right. 2-run shot. Got the Brewers off and running. They lead it 3-1 as we move to the top half of the 8th, and Strasburg on in relief of Max Scherzer.
Just so impressed by the offense of the Brewers and how they came out in this game against Scherzer. They just were swinging the bats and swinging it early.
It almost looked like a team offensively that said, this guy has owned us. We might as well try something different and come out hacking. And it worked early.
And I don't care what kind of pitcher you are. If you have 3 Cy Youngs, 2-run home run in the first, it's a standing 8 count.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Says Corey Blazer down at third.
Just a changeup off the strike zone. You were talking about it before, Frenchie. One of the few pitchers in the game that has 3 A+ pitches.
And I think that's why it was so important to get rid of that slider, because you've seen that curveball. First pitch to Grandal right there. He's able to just throw get me over.
He's faced 7 hitters. He's struck out 4 of them. That's inside to Moustakas. When he came on in the 6th, he faced Ryan Braun, who swung at the first pitch and lined a single to left. And there has been nothing since. A double play ball, a ground out, 4 strikeouts. And there's some firewood. 2 down. Authentic on-field caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and suit up with your team at the official source, MLBshop.com. There's the guy that the Brewers like to turn to when the game is on the line late. Josh Hader, one of the most intimidating pitchers in baseball. Keston Hiura has had a forgettable postseason debut with 3 strikeouts. Faces Strasburg for the first time in this game.
I mean, tough proposal, right? To put a young kid in the cleanup hole. He's never faced Scherzer, never faced Strasburg.
Well, Scherzer throws 97, 98 up, strikes you out, and then what does Steven do right there? First pitch curveball.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mets have this 1-2 punch of Scherzer, Strasburg. You get them both on the same night.
But unlike Max, who really had to push himself to get through 5 innings, Strasburg's making it look easy.
Well, and it's a nightmare as a hitter now. You've seen a curveball, 2 changeups. You haven't even seen 97 yet, and you're down 1-2.
The line, fair ball. That'll be in the corner. And Hiura with a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the 8th. Hey, this just became memorable for Keston Hiura.
We went fastball on him here after 3 off-speed pitches.
Well, he wanted that pitch to be another foot up. He didn't get it up enough. And nice hitting by Hiura. Quick bat by Hiura.
Yeah, he didn't get all of it, but he got enough, pulled the hands in nice.
He's been doing it all year long, late in games. Here, a 7th inning and later, 363 average with 5 home runs.
It's a big run out there at second in a 3-1 game. Ryan Braun steps in.
We wonder if we were going to see Gamble defensively. I think this is the reason Braun stayed in this ball game right here. This at bat to have a chance.
A 22 home run, 75 RBI season in the 144 games he played. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Boy, cat and mouse game, almost like the veteran Braun was sitting on a breaking ball. Caught 2 fastballs down in the strike zone, 1 for a ball and that one for a strike.
On the ground to third. And that'll do it in the 8th. Brewers get a runner in the scoring position. Can't bring him home. Here he comes, folks. Left fielder for Ryan Braun. Corey Spangenberg spells Hira at second. And Josh Hader trying to nail it down in the 8th and 9th. Victor Robles leads it off. That'll loosen you up.
Yes, it will. Hader's pitched 2 or more innings 14 times this year. 9 saves of 2 innings or more.
He's 37 out of 44 in save opportunities. It wasn't as close as it seemed the first time. Easy for me to say from this distance.
It felt close enough for me.
Hader with the 1-run lead this year, 8 for 15 in save opportunities.
Okay.
He's given up the long ball some, as you said, but 2-run lead, 17 of 17.
He has given up 15 home runs. He's behind in the count, 2-0, and throws a strike for Robles.
Of those 15 home runs, 11 of them have come at night.
That's a strike.
Yeah, no doubt. 2-1. $75 2/3 innings, 138 strikeouts and 20 walks. Held opponents to an average of 155, and Ryan Zimmerman is in the on-deck circle. 2-2.
Biggest pitch of the game.
And if you're Robles here, you got to shorten up. You got to make sure you see that ball down.
Milwaukee hasn't trailed in this game. It's 3-1, and there is strikeout number 1 for Josh Hader.
Well, if there's one theme to this night for the Nationals offense, their inability to lay off the pitch up in the strike zone.
They have just gone there all night and exposed them. That's another pitch right there. That's ball 4. Now with Robles striking out, Zimmerman goes back to the dugout, and Michael A. Taylor's coming out.
Second time tonight that Zimmerman has been in the on-deck circle, had been called back before being announced. Join us on TBS for a pair of game 1s in the National League Division Series on Thursday. A couple of scenarios. If Washington wins this game, coverage starts at 4 with the first game at 5. If Milwaukee wins, coverage starts at 5 with the first game at 6. TBS is your exclusive home of the 2019 National League postseason.
Taylor 1 for 1 with a home run off Hader.
Thing to remember here, again, it's only a 3-1 game. Just need a base runner if you're Washington to bring the tying run to the plate.
Bloop and a blast, right, Frenchie?
Yeah, and with the top of the lineup getting ready to come back around, you got to find a way to get the tying run up. Good job by Taylor there. This is the closest thing to facing Chapman. Honestly, when you think about it, you have to see the ball down. I know it's tough. Listen, we've all swung at that pitch up, but you've got to find a way. He's in a good 2-0 count here.
Or Chris Sale when he's at his best.
Yes. Taylor waits on a 2-1 and fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Took something off, missed, and it's again a full count.
Sliders have not been close so far from Hader. Remember, Michael A. Taylor was supposed to be the center fielder for the future of this ball club. Didn't hit enough and was supplanted by Robles.
And here's another 3-2 count. And like you said, slider's been no good. You got to know Heater's coming right here. Shorten up. You see him choking up right there with the bat.
Hader to Taylor with a 3-2. And he hit him. Or did he? Grandal ran down there as if that had hit the bat.
They're checking to see if he check swinged. We've seen that called a lot this season. Do you remember Charlie Culberson with the Atlanta Braves squared around the bunt? They called it on him. He got hit flush in the face. There's no way he was swinging the bat and it hit him in the face. But did it hit the bat first on the knob? That's the problem. It caught hand, it caught bat. It's up to the umpires to decide. I don't think he swung the bat.
No, he did.
But it might have caught bat and hand. What are they going to decide?
Definitely can't be talking about if he swung.
No.
Take a look.
Simultaneous hit, bat and
too
bottom
close
of the hand for me.
Because it definitely hit the knob of the bat. You talked about him in the 2-strike approach and choking up on the bat.
If he hadn't choked up, it would only hit hand. Can you imagine?
Which might be broke by now.
So Grandal, that ball ended up as a fair ball. He had to play out the first base. And they're going to go to the replay. Wow. To me, it was a simultaneous hit of the bat and the hand all at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to overturn it. If the call in the field was hit by a pitch, that's what this has to be.
Well, I think the ball's dead also, so it can't be an out at first, because watch after it hits, I think simultaneously, and it comes up and it hits him in the shoulder. So there's no play.
So that's a foul ball.
That's a dead ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? So we know that. It's a dead ball. They're trying to decide now whether it hit the bat or whether it hit the hand.
Matt Lip is our director and Jeff Randolph our producer. I'd love to see that same angle one more time and look at and watch his arm. No, from the, that's one angle, but the other one from the side, from the first base side. Look at his arm and see if, he's trying to see if you could see his skin move when the ball hit his arm there at the same time that it was hitting the knob of the bat.
And you know what's interesting? If it had been called the other way, they might have had to.
It'd be a foul ball.
Exactly. I mean, I felt the whole time it simultaneously hit the bat and the hand. Hard to change that call.
It's no different than a bang-bang play at first that they call safe and it's too close to call.
Well, Taylor's showing Tim Bogart the war wound.
Top of the order now, and Trey Turner. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-run game. Turner, who's already homered, is the tying run. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. Stays upstairs, 1-0. This was the bottom half of the third inning with 2 out.
And that was a fastball up that Turner drove, so got to figure getting it again here.
Taylor, the runner at first, has good speed.
The home run that Turner hit was a high fastball in the strike zone. But these Nationals hitters have consistently gone out of the strike zone on fastballs up. And that was the pitch like there.
Two balls and 1 strike. Once again, Ryan Zimmerman is in the on-deck circle. He's been there a couple of times, but called back.
And that's why he's out there now. Guys on base, he's got a chance to tie this game up if Turner gets on to put him up.
And remember, as an offense, the more pitches that Hader has to throw, maybe the less effective he is in the ninth.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. And he got him. Second strikeout of the inning for Hader. Well, a big spot here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. You're down by 2 runs, and Zim comes to the plate. Ryan Zimmerman, longest tenured member of this team.
Leads the Nationals franchise in just about every single category.
He opened this park in 2008, hit a walk-off home run here in the 11th inning. He has been the rock for this team, and here he has a chance in this moment right here to do something big.
Missed a lot of time with plantar fasciitis, held to 52 games this year. And just 63 last year with an oblique. He stands in the spotlight here with 2 down and a runner on. He's the tying run. Their first ever draft pick back in 2005. Number 4 overall out of the University of Virginia.
When he's right, he can hit that ball up in the strike zone.
And drive it out to right center.
Taylor again the lead at first. Hader to the plate.
Hitting .367 versus left-handed pitching this year, and the toughest thing Ryan has to do right now is calm yourself down. You got to slider that first pitch. You just took the fastball. Trust yourself that you can get the bat to the ball.
Boy, all those Brewers on the top step. With 2 outs in the 8th, they can see the finish line in the distance, but long way to go.
The slider really hasn't been a weapon for Hader here in the 8th.
No, and that's the respect. He knows Zimmerman can square up a fastball out over the plate. 2-1 now. To me, Zim's got to be ready to go right here. Looking something top of the zone. Get your hands on top. You got Rendon on deck. He doesn't want to get to him.
Shattered his bat on the 2-1, and that blooper is going to fall. Runners will be at first and third.
That bat died a major hero. Look, he was ready. He just got a ball in at 97. But you know what? He was able to get enough of it. Great base running by Taylor. First and third for your MVP coming up. What more could you want?
Zimmerman goes up there in a big spot, walks away with a number 2 pencil in his hand, and runners at first and third for Rendon. Look at that.
You have a hitter up who led the major leagues in 126 RBI. Andrew Stevenson comes in to run for Zimmerman. 335 runs batted in with 2 outs. Led the National League, did the Washington Nationals.
Nats down 2. Have 2 on for Anthony Rendon. And Hader misses 1-0. The Brewers' best reliever against the Nationals' best player.
It's the way it's supposed to be. I think Rendon has one of the quickest bats in baseball. And his hot zone is down and in. Hits over 400 down and in.
And the thing for him is he's so disciplined up there. He's not chasing that pitch up. He's going to have to throw him a strike, or he might load him up for Soto.
And no strikes.
24 pitches now thrown by Hader.
Well, this is where Hader's got to be careful right here, because you can't just throw it in at 95, takes him off, because he's swinging right here.
One of the themes in the league this year, hitters swinging 3-0.
He takes 3-1. Rendon, just a great guy to watch at the plate. Very few moving parts involved in that swing. Under control. And this is his pitch at 3-1. In the air, but out of play.
You know, a pitcher's fastball is electric. When you have the count, you know what pitch is coming, and you're still late on it.
You see Hader's had to throw 26 pitches here in the 8th.
I'm thinking he's doing Rendon a favor if he decides to throw the slider.
Elevated that fastball. Rendon wasn't going to bite. And they're loaded.
Rendon right here, so good. Knows where the strike zone is. Fastball even farther up right there. This one almost hits him in. 3-0. Makes him throw a strike right here. This was the pitch he wanted, 3-1 the fastball, but so tough, fouled off. And then Rendon, so disciplined right here. Able to just spit on that, take your walk, and set it up for your young superstar.
Keep the line moving.
Juan Soto is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The bases are loaded full of Nats.
As Jordan Lyles up on the bullpen. for the Brewers. Pitch count getting up for Hader. 110 RBI for Soto this year. 42 of them came with 2 outs.
The 0-1 to Soto. Sails outside. Ball and a strike. The Washington Nationals average better than 5 runs a game, almost 5.5. Number 2 in the National League. They've been held in check here in the wild card game. But here in the bottom of the 8th, their best opportunity to turn this game around. Base hit to right. That'll score 1. That'll score 2 as the ball gets away from Grisham and right. That's going to score 3 runs. And the Washington Nationals have the lead. They got Soto hung up. They tag him out, but nobody in this joint cares. Incredible. The Nats take a lead to the 9th.
Holy shit.
Is presented by Hankook Tire. Man, has the vibe in this place changed, huh? Daniel Hudson on in the 9th, and all of a sudden the Nats, from down 3-1, lead 4-3 and are 3 outs away from the NLDS.
Interesting call by Davey Martinez. He has the left-handed Doolittle who could have faced Thames, but more confidence in the right-handed Hudson.
Thames has a solo homer in the second. Back then, it made it a 3-0 game. Michael A. Taylor, the new right fielder, guy who was hit by a pitch with 1 out, and then came around to score, as did Andrew Stevenson, Anthony Rendon. On the sharp single by Juan Soto that was misplayed in right field.
We've seen it, though. The postseason works this way now, is that starting pitchers are used as relievers. And wouldn't it be ironic that the relief bullpen of the Nationals will be the hero in this game?
A ball and 2 strikes. There's Sean Doolittle.
And the last 2 guys Hader's given up hits to. Sam Hilliard, the lefty, for a home run in Colorado. Juan Soto tonight. But Ron, we set up between innings. Anthony Rendon set up that AB right there. 3-2, taking a pitch, not being selfish.
Thames with all kind of power. Goes down swinging for out number 1. Let's go back to the Juan Soto at bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
And this where I think Grisham was charging really hard, figuring he'd have a chance to throw Stevenson out at home. Looking back, he probably would have just gotten the ball, throw it to second, knowing that Stevenson got pinch ran for Zimmerman.
I would love to see that ball again, because to me, the way he missed it looked like it took a bad hop on him.
Here's Lorenzo Cain.
Usually when you see an outfielder miss a ball, it'll go under his glove, but it'll be like in front of his body. That ball, he missed that by 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, and Doolittle's been their closer most of the year, but I'll tell you what, since he's come over, Hudson, he has been lights out this year. Only 4 walks in 25 innings with a 1.44 for the Nats. That's why he's in this ball game right now.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1-run lead for the Nats. Up the middle, base hit. Lorenzo Cain is 1 for 4, and that one's big.
There's Moustakas. Brewers haven't given up, of course.
No, and something to keep an eye on, too, if they try to pinch run. Obviously, I know Lorenzo Cain is so fast, but with that ankle right now, a ball in the gap, he's got to be able to score.
No doubles defense in the outfield for the Nationals. Can't play any deeper than their 3 outfielders.
You have to.
Orlando Arcia, a bloop single in the second, has struck out and grounded out since. And he pops up behind the plate. Suzuki, 2 down. Ball and no strikes to Ben Gamel. To center field. Robles back. Ball game. And the Washington Nationals are LA bound. About 20 minutes ago, the Washington Nationals were down 3-1 with 2 outs in the 8th. And now they've won the wild card game over the Milwaukee Brewers.
For 7.5 innings, these fans had nothing to cheer about except the solo homer and Strasburg pitching. 10 minutes, it all fell apart. Everything was set up for the Brewers. How they wanted to do it, just think Hader wasn't able to get it done.
This organization started their first postseason electing not to use Steven Strasburg. They never won a postseason series. They used him today in relief, and he gets the win. The 11th time that they've come back from 3 or more runs of deficit and won a ball game, and finally, something good happens to the Nationals here at this ballpark.
We had talked about the uneasy feeling that was just palpable in this ballpark as that 3-1 deficit continued in the course of this game. And then Josh Hader comes on, and it's like, now things are really going to get tough. And a 20-year-old kid knocks in a couple of runs, a misplay in right field by another rookie, and all of a sudden, 3-run score. It's a 4-3 lead, and they close it out in the 9th with Daniel Hudson.
You said it, Ron. This has been an organization that's felt snake bit.
Yep.
Tonight, you feel like they finally got rid of that a little bit.
By the way, Gamble almost got this. Hit it right on the nose, but an easy play for Robles. Martinez has praised Robles for all the energy he's brought. A 20-year-old outfielder who's batting cleanup for your team, hit .285 during the year against left-handed pitching, comes up huge.
And they did it without playing the baby shark tonight.
Oh, I guarantee they're going to be playing that in the locker room in about 10 minutes.
A 6-game streak where they had a chance to close out a postseason series is finally over. They've won one.
Eight straight wins to end the regular season. Home field in the wild card. And in the bottom half of the 8th inning, they erupt for 3 runs to erase a 3-1 Milwaukee lead. What a punch to the gut for the Brewers, who had it all playing out their way until the 8th. There's Steven Strasburg, and the linchpin to this victory.
Just watching him come in to relieve for the first time in his career and come in and have the stuff he had. He was as unhittable as anyone in this game.
Think back to the last game, the last playoff game Washington played here in 2017. It was using Max Scherzer in relief. It didn't work. The roof fell in. Today it was Scherzer starting, Strasburg relieving, and the Nationals walking off with a 4-3 win and on their way to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers in the best-of-5.
Just go 1-0. Just stay in the fight. That was the mantra of Davey Martinez all season long when he was at the worst, the lowest he could ever be. 19-31 his ball club was on May 23rd.
Let's go down to Lauren Shahadi.
Juan Soto, congratulations. Bases loaded in the 8th. Winner go home. It's like a no fear shirt. Walk me through your approach in that at bat.
For me, just get a base hit to the middle. That's what I